Okay, welcome everybody. It is November 5th. It's our Team Liberate weekly call. And this week's topic is something I'm super excited about because it's something we've never done before. I'm sure you guys have seen if you weren't there, which I think most of us were. We had our first annual Team Liberate retreat this past weekend. We had so much fun that I'm sure we're already planning to make it an annual thing. And so I hope that you guys will, want to join us next year because of all the fun that we had. And each year we anticipate it getting more, bigger and funner and more exciting. So I asked everybody who was there over the weekend to hop on this call and just share just like top 2 or 3 takeaways from the weekend. And I'm really interested and excited to hear from everybody because I feel like we did have kind of like a range of people, in terms of how long we've been a coach, how we got started as a coach, what our business looks like in terms of juggling everything else we have going on in our lives. I feel like we all have our unique story. And so I think it's really cool to kind of come together and hear what we all kind of took away from the experience this weekend. So this is definitely being recorded for those of you who couldn't make it. So I guess I'm just going to kind of hop around. I'll kind of go in order on my screen here and ask everybody who was there to share a couple takeaways. If you have any questions or if you were also there and you kind of want to chime in to what somebody's saying, totally do that. We're all just muted for background noise, but I want this to be like an open discussion if it turns out that way. And if people are sharing your, we'll try it out. We'll test it out, Erin. If people are like saying the things that you want to share, that's totally cool. Like say them again if you want to kind of don't feel like you have to have some awesome, different new takeaway. Alex, I couldn't remember who said the 2D thing because before you hopped on, I was like, it's awesome 2D, and nobody really said anything. So maybe the people who heard that weren't there at that moment because it was pretty silent. Anyway, okay. So does anybody want to go first? Pam, just unmute yourself if you want to go. You're good. Can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, took the headphones out. Okay. Couple of my takeaways were, it was a lot of fun, and thank you, first of all.
Of course.
I have to keep remembering my why so that when I get tired or busy with other things, I remember my why. I need to make like maybe a vision board or something and keep my why right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things somebody said was to celebrate and spoil your people. I need to do that more because all the challengers, especially now my new coach, who she might be hopping on. She's trying to.
Yeah, she told me she was gonna.
She's trying to figure out how. I just sent her the link. And then the crafting your story was really helpful. Because I have a hard time with posts. I don't have trouble going live and just talking, but typing up a post, that's where I have trouble. So that helped a lot with crafting a post.
Yeah, so for those of you who weren't there, whether you're hearing it now or on the recording, we did a couple of just like mini training sessions while we were there. And then, of course, we had a lot of time to work and, bounce ideas off of one another. But the training that I did was basically about sharing your story versus giving information. Melanie Mitro's line is facts tell, stories sell. So you want to have a beginning, a middle, and an end to your post, and not every single post, but you want to share your journey and share your life, whether it's related to Beachbody or not. Have a beginning, a middle, and end to a story where there's emotions involved, characters involved. Tell people how the story started out and how the characters were able to overcome whatever obstacle it was that they're encountering in your post. So that's what PM is talking about. Instead of just like giving information like, here's my shake, you could say something like, oh my goodness, before I started drinking this protein-based smoothie, I had irritable bowel syndrome, or I had, acne or migraines or whatever it is that, you've gained from drinking Shakeology every day. And, I used to have all of these issues. And then my coach suggested I drink this superfood smoothie, and it doesn't quite roll off the tongue yet, but it will. And, and I trusted her and I listened to her, and I'm so excited to share that a month later, 6 months later, I'm feeling so much better. Something short and sweet, but it has a beginning, a middle, an end. You shared that you were the character. You shared you had a struggle that you've overcome. So that way people can relate more. People are going to relate more to your story rather than just your information that you're sharing. So that's just kind of a little tidbit, but I think that would be a really good call topic in this group. So we can go into more in depth with that another time. Awesome. Thanks, Pam.
Yep.
And yeah, spoiling your people. Kelsey Connor is a awesome example of that. She does that a lot. That's one of the things I made a mental note of too. Cool. Okay, Liz, you're up.
Okay. So mine are kind of broad and obvious, but
Okay.
Being consistent with this business is definitely like the key, and it's something that I struggle a lot with. But just seeing the people in this business who are consistent and showing up every day, like I said, you asked what we're going to do to move our business forward going into the next year. Literally just setting my business hours every day is something that I'm not consistent with, and that I think alone will just force me to get stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. Trying new things, like in my stories, I just do like the same things every day. So adding like Triller or Hype Type, just little things, trying out new things instead of just being like stuck in my ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like just doing the same things and changing it up, making it interesting. And that live events really are everything. Like, I know I'm dragging my feet on Summit a little bit, but even just like when we're hanging out, the little chit chat and pieces of information that you get, it's really important. So
yeah, I mean, those are the things that like on a takeaway call, you can't relay those things that being in line for the bathroom and, you're standing next to so-and-so and you guys get to talking or whatever, you're waiting for a drink at the boom party, like things like that you just can't get if you're not physically there. So 1000%, and Summit is the mother of all life events. Talking to everybody, you have to be there. Make it a plan. I did a money post in the Liberate group today, how you can break it down. There's 35 weeks left until Summit, which is super sad to think about. But at the same time, that means it's about $25 a week if you were to put aside, would pay for your ticket, your airfare, your hotel, and spending money like food, which is doable. And with Christmas, maybe the flight is like a Christmas present or something. Do everything you can to get there. It's really important. What did you say? Summit, and I had a thought until the Summit thing came up. What was the second one?
Me?
Yeah.
What were the things that were important? What did I say?
Well, yeah. What are the two things? The other things?
Oh, I said being consistent with the business.
Yes.
Trying new things.
Yeah.
And live events.
Trying new things is of course is awesome, but don't be afraid too. I just want other people on the call to know, like, it's okay to show your consistency in your life at the same time. I don't want people to think that they have to have this like super awesome, amazing, crazy, exciting life to share on Instagram stories. Just share your day to day, but yeah, change it up in terms of like trying new music, trying new features, trying new apps, just to kind of keep it fun and exciting. Because if you're bored with your stories, it's probably likely that your followers might be bored with it too. So,
right.
Change it up for you, and then that it just so happens that it's more fun and exciting for them too. And then being consistent. I mean, I know as a mom in your home, like your hours that might not always be the exact same, but if you have 2 or 3 chunks of time in the day, if you can map out what you're going to do at each task or each chunk, and then the times don't really matter. It's just the activities that you're doing at each chunk.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Liz. Kara, what about you? Kara, oh my God. It was my one chance to do it. It was my one chance to do it on this call. And for those of you who aren't there, Our lovely coach is not named Kara. Her name is Kara.
It's okay.
As you can tell, I'm still getting used to it. Oh, I'm so mad at myself.
Don't worry, seriously.
Okay.
I took away so much. I mean, just the friendships by themselves, really. I mean, that was huge. But also just remembering that you guys all started somewhere and that it's okay that it's just the beginning. And before I came down on Saturday, I just felt kind of overwhelmed and discouraged and that nothing was going to come out of this. But then I just was like, okay, no, you guys are true examples of where it started, how it happened, what you have to do to get there, and just keeping on track with that and that it is possible. Yeah. So that was cool. Just the technology piece in general, just seeing it. I know how to do all this stuff, but just seeing it in person and demonstrated, I'm such a visual person. So, I mean, even just using the self-timer on the iPhone, I was like, oh, duh, that's right there. So, yeah, just that stuff. And my third, I don't know. I don't even know if I have a third. I think that's that just okay. wrapped everything up. And just the whole thing was crazy.
So you're talking about like the most obvious things. When we were in the car driving to the airport, I was with Alex and Kelsey, and I learned for the first time that if the person has a circle around their picture, then that means they have stories.
You didn't know that? I know that.
No, did not know that. Like, it makes sense, but I'm always like just tapping, and I tap again, and just in case like I missed it or something. Nope. So yeah,
no,
the most obvious thing. The most obvious thing.
Exactly.
I've been a coach for 3.5 years. Yeah, it's fine.
Totally. I download all these apps when I'm on the team calls and stuff, but I don't have a chance to play around with them.
Yeah.
So just having that opportunity with everyone in the room, just to do that was.
But that's a good note too. Like, there's all these things that come up in calls and all these great ideas, but know that you can't implement everything. So like just taking one or two things at a time, maybe make a master list of things that sound exciting and things you'd want to try, and try to do like one or two at a time, so you don't forget it, but don't feel like you have to implement everything. But yeah, I totally get it. Being there and in the flesh and being able to learn it.
And just building confidence. Yeah. Building confidence was it was helpful just being there, like I said.
Yeah. I've heard Kelsey say it before. I know lots of people have said it before, but like, you can't, like you're saying, you can't compare your like month 2 to like somebody else's year 3.
Right.
Obviously, give yourself some time and you're going to be in a similar place too.
Exactly.
You all start somewhere. You're rocking it. You're doing awesome. Kara.
Yes.
Yes. That's right. All right. Thanks for sharing. Danielle?
I'm totally getting a headband. That was another takeaway.
The B brand. Got to get them. They rock. And you're right, Danielle. I wore that pumpkin one that Kelsey gave me all day yesterday. I took it off last night and it didn't mess up my hair at all. Done. Sold. Okay. All right, Danielle, what are your takeaways?
So obviously, I mean, since I started, live events are just it just lights my fire every time I see you guys. It gives me the chills and like all the feels. But I think one major thing, because I think Christine and I, when we were driving home, I'm the type of person that wants to do all the things. Just like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I need to focus on one thing to really boost my business, and that is consistently inviting. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm focusing on. Because I want to do all the training, I want to do this newsletter, I want to do that and the other thing, and how I have to think back and be like, how is that going to help my business if I'm not even inviting as much as I should be? So right. That's my main focus.
You have to invite first.
Yes.
And then if you have an extra 30 minutes or an hour on a given day, then you tackle the part of your newsletter. And you do that every day until the newsletter is done. But as long as and I'm talking to myself too. I still haven't done my invites today. But I won't let myself go to bed unless I do them. But yeah, the exact same thing. I want to do all the things.
And obviously going back to my story, there's a lot of things that I really like have been hesitant to share, but I feel like after this event, I don't really care. I'm just gonna share it, and whatever. If people don't like it, whatever. It's who I am. It's part of me, and it's relatable, and I'm gonna do it. I don't really care. And specifically, like, and always going back to your journey, and so basically I'm going back to my journey right now and going back to the first program that I started when I started this journey, which is like, basically I had no athletic ability. So I know for those people that are watching me, like, they can relate to this specific program.
Mm-hmm.
To the basics, basically, is what I'm excited to do.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Erin, you want to try out your mic? Ooh, so scary. All right, we'll let you play with that. / you could call in from your phone. I'll let you, we'll move on, and we'll come, you do your thing. You let me know. Yeah, she can type it on there, but the phone would be better so we could hear you. Okay, Robin, you're up. Do you want me to unmute you? Where are you? Let's see. There you go.
Okay, it was great being with everybody and just hearing their stories and things, picking up little tidbits. But one of the things that really struck me was, even though we've all been in doing this coaching for different amounts of times, we've all had similar questions and issues come up. And it was really great that we could help each other answer the questions, or how do I phrase this? How do I say that? And I really liked when you said you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That just went, oh, okay, I get it. So today when I was inviting, I was like, oh my God, like, is this what I really want to say? How is she going to react? And then I said, oh, no. Brooke said you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And if she's not the right person at this time, maybe later she will be. So thank you for that. Yeah, so that really helped. And I really liked learning about all those new apps and things. And I just need time to play around with it to figure it out. Because it was a little overwhelming to download and do this and follow this step and do that and do that and that. I really need to take some time and just play around with it and kind of figure it out for myself. And I'm hoping if I get really stuck, I can reach out to Danielle and she'll say, no, stupid, just do this. And you'll be fine. Like, what's the problem? But
Danielle did talk about a bunch of apps though. And like we just said, I would pick one.
Yeah.
And start with that rather than trying to do all the apps.
Exactly.
You know, like I would probably start with Lightroom.
Yeah.
Because
working on Instagram and getting that consistent and looking, the same and posting consistently there. And
exactly.
Yeah. But it was great. I had the best time. I was a little nervous. I do have to tell you guys, I have social anxiety. So being with a bunch of people I haven't met before totally freaked me out. But Alex and Eric on the ride down kind of talked me down from the roof. And it was just
glad you came.
Oh yeah, I'm totally looking forward to next year. It was like it's awesome.
Good, yay! I'm glad you came too.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Robin. Alex.
Travis to turn on football. So I had 3 things, but a few of them are already said, so I'll just touch on those. One was Brooke's talk about writing your story. I just sat on the airplane and I banged out 2 weeks of stories, and I didn't even touch the graphic organizer yet.
That's awesome.
So I'm really excited, and I hope in 2 months do a post about it to remind us, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like so often I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, what will I write? I'll just do a selfie and say like, I had a good day, you know, like I get stuck. So that was super helpful. And even like my post yesterday got, I think, the most like way more likes than usual.
Awesome.
Over, I don't know. I was looking at it today and I was like, how can this be possible? Like, so that was awesome. And I think that that's also because of my second takeaway, which is from Danielle. Oh my God, Lightroom really makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
My pictures look so different. And like, I'm not going to lie, like I've heard you guys talk about it and I've been like, nah, I'm fine. I don't actually need that. And I was totally wrong. And like now just looking at my feed, like the top 3 pictures look incredible and the rest look like garbage. It's like ridiculous.
No, you just want like the whole like next 2 weeks to go by so you can like fill up.
Yes, I do. Yeah. And yeah. And I think I picked a good one. Like for my personality, it's like a really warm, it's almost like a red tint, which at first I was like, oh, is this too red? And then it looks cool. It's like unique, you know, which I really like. Oh, I was also going to say that, Danielle, you were also right that once you, or whoever said it, once you like start using those apps, Robin and Erica, I know you were talking about this too, it becomes easier. So like when I was taking off, because like you couldn't have your computer out, I just spent the whole time like figuring out how it works. And it took me maybe like, 20 minutes of like messing up or like messing around. But now, like today, I did it in like 2 minutes. Once you figure it out, it's just easy.
Yeah.
So that was exciting and fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then my third thing was Kelsey's, and I didn't even do it on purpose, picking like one thing from each person, but it just happened.
You're so fair, Alex.
I know, yeah. Everyone gets a gold star who presents. No, Kelsey's newsletter idea, like I'm so excited about, and it just like so far, and for people who weren't there, she like taught us how to use mail, or I guess didn't teach us directly, but it's really easy to use once you start messing around with it. She told us about MailChimp, which makes it so easy to track like who's opened your links and who's checked it out. And like just in doing that, one of my current challengers like gave me a ton more information about like her fitness and like health goals, which will help me like check in with her more.
Yeah.
So that was like really awesome. I'm really excited about the newsletter.
Did that girl end up buying? The one that you talked about to her about getting Shakeology also?
Which I forget.
The one you told me like yesterday they were so excited about, or this morning.
Oh, she's the one from Canada.
Oh, she's a Canada girl. Okay, yeah. Side note, I have a Canadian girl. I don't know how I initially signed her up, but I know for like 1,000,000%, if you do the Coach Link generator, at the top it'll have like an American flag, the US flag. You just change it to Canada and it'll just find the link for the challenge pack you want and send it to her.
I actually figured it out right before the call started.
Oh.
And another option, I'm sure that works too, but it really, bottom line is I am an idiot, because when you first do the share cart, it says like name and then it says country.
Oh.
That's all it is. I selected USA. So sorry to bother everyone all day about that. I was freaking out and it literally was like name country. So sorry, everyone. I knew it would be a problem when you were like, ask your questions in the chat. I was like, people are going to regret this.
No, see? We all learned. And you reminded me, because it was like 6 months ago. I completely forgot. All right. Thanks for sharing. Erica, I know you want to go next. We can't hear you. Hold on.
Thanks, Travis.
Where are you, Erica? Okay, there you are.
Hi. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Yes, so this, our weekend was amazing. I'm so glad I went and everyone came. I feel like our team is just so positive and genuine and loving and inspiring. So I'm just happy to be on the team with all of you guys. some of the things I took, and thank you, Brooke, you did a great job. Some of the things I took away that was the main thing, I would say, which I kind of knew already, but it kind of reminded me. The Instagram training, I really needed that. I feel like I've learned so much. Thank you, Danielle, but I feel like I've learned so much like through the Lightroom and just understanding a little bit more how to do that stuff. So I'm excited to kind of move forward with my Instagram and make it look a little bit more professional, a little more, polished. Also, again, the storytelling thing that training that Brooke did, it reminded me of some of the stuff that, I know, but I forget sometimes, and that to put in, to tell stories and to share emotions and be vulnerable in our posts, and that's what people connect to. I loved the photo shoots. That was so much fun. And I have so many new photos to mess with on Lightroom. I'm so excited. That was amazing. I started using Triller today. That was fun. Like all these new little tips and tricks that I didn't know about. And of course, playing the games was so much fun. Like we had so much fun. So I just wanted, those are my takeaways.
Awesome. Thank you. I agree that the photos with the fence, it's just still boggles my mind how amazing they are.
Oh my gosh. All on some timer and
the night could have ended and I would have been happy. Of course I does.
All right. I'm gonna go put my kids to bed, but I don't know how long this is gonna be. I'll probably be back though.
Okay. All right, thanks. Kelsey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just had so much fun and so many takeaways. So I think one of my biggest is just being with people who share your passions, because I think it reinforces why we're doing this, because I don't really think one of us was like, I want to be I think we all want to be successful, but not one person was like, I want to be at the top of the network because I want to make a ton of money. It's great that we make money, but we're all here because we really genuinely love being healthy. We love helping others. So I think that that's just so encouraging because it really reinforces your why, and it reinforced mine this weekend. And I think like someone said, it's really easy to get overwhelmed with all the things. And I think for someone who's listening to this call who wasn't there, you might think, okay, I could never be at that level. But you just take your, one of the takeaways I took was take one thing, master it, learn it, get a feel for it to see if you like it or if you would use it. And if not, move on to the next. Don't try to do all the things. Just, take and choose what you need. And then also kind of what some other people said, making an emotional connection. People want to resonate with you, not what you did. They want to know how you felt. They want to be on this journey with the person, not the person who's at the end of their journey. Right. So I think that helps us with just sharing our story, posting, and all of that stuff. And then just tips and tricks on time management. That was really helpful for me. But most importantly, Brooke, we're just so blessed to have you. You, I think it's I'm not going to get emotional, but think about how we're all here. It's very unconventional. And I think when I have hard days where I'm I don't really want to invite people, or I'm trying to teach my coaches how to invite people, it's not something I like to do necessarily because maybe it feels weird or just doesn't feel normal. But had you not followed up with me, a million times when I ghosted you and said no or whatever, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have changed my life. You wouldn't have changed my family's life. So I think it's just thank you for doing this for all of us. And it's just a great example of when we think about, how we're all here, it's because someone likely didn't give up on us. They didn't give up on themselves.
Right.
And then apparently one night when we were drinking, I decided to start 80 days again. So that started today, and I'm really mad about it because it was an hour workout.
I did it today too.
Those are my takeaways.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like Saturday night at like 1 a.m. We both decided to do it together.
Oh. All right.
Our butts will thank us in 80 days.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. That's really sweet of you to say. And I mean, I agree. That's what I tell people. Like, think of where you would be or wouldn't be if your coach, whether it's me or not, you know, where you would be if your coach hadn't gotten outside of their comfort zone. Like, you know, and we were even talking about how sometimes it feels even more awkward to talk to your warm market. It's like, you know, like for me, that's Liz and that's Erin. Like, they were technically somewhat part of my warm market. And if I had thought like, oh, I went to high school with her, I don't know if she's going to think I'm weird, or if she's going to think I'm annoying, or if she's going to go tell all these her friends from our high school, you know, like whatever. Other people's opinions don't pay your bills. We talked about that this weekend. You just have to put all that to the side and know that, you know, what you're doing is making a difference. And if people are saying no, or they say no right now, or, you know, it's just them kind of, it's you planting a seed, but it's just them like not ready yet. But as long as they know that they have the option to join you, and, you know, if they're open to it, then you have the possibility to like help them change their life. And that's all that matters. So thanks, Kelsey. Christina.
Hi. Hi. I haven't talked in a while, I guess. Few takeaways from this weekend. Kelsey started touching on it, like about just being around people who inspire you to dream bigger. But I think being being together with people in person is really important for me, because Beachbody is kind of like this world that lives in my social media and this world that lives like inside of my apartment. Okay, I might like story while I'm at the grocery store, but people don't really get that. So, and my fiance is super supportive. So it exists in our conversations, exists in our apartment, and it exists on my social media. But in terms of talking to a lot of people in person about it, it doesn't really exist. So I think going to live events and just sharing that passion with people and being able to develop comfort in talking about it out loud is really important for me, because it's not something I do that often.
Yep.
So I think that's a huge takeaway for me, to get more confident in talking about it in person and talking about how it really has changed so many people's lives. And that is super important for me.
Yeah, I agree.
And being in person helps me realize that goals are a real thing to dream big, and to not be afraid. Like, I could write like my goals on a piece of paper every single day, but to speak them aloud to people is a very different thing.
Yes.
So doing that is extremely helpful. So yeah, being together in person with people who I didn't even know I needed in my life. Like, I didn't know I needed more friends. Like, I'm comfortable with my best friends from high school. I have a great group of friends from college. And had Beachbody not come into my life, I would have been okay. I would have been happy. But to see how much happiness all of you guys truly bring to my life is wonderful. I'm going to stop there. Not even a crier. What the fuck do you guys do to me? Don't laugh at me.
I 1000% agree. I've said it before, and I'll say it like a million times over. Like, the relationships was the furthest thing from my mind when I started coaching. Like, I never in a million years was like, I want to do Beachbody so I can make more friends. Like, and I never I don't have like a bajillion friends. I was all about like the health and business part of it. And like, the relationships has been the like most amazingly surprising benefit that I never truly envisioned at all. Like, it wasn't even in the realm of thinking.
Agreed. It wasn't a thought.
Yeah, and then now you look at it and you're like, how could I live without them?
Yeah, like, who else would I talk about my IBS with? Like, Lord, help me. Okay, I'm going back to my phone because that's where I wrote my goals. Yes, you can eat the chicken. Second thing was just the simple new mantra, build deep, not wide. Love that quote. Thank you, Brooke.
Cool.
Third, I have an awesome new sweatshirt.
It's pretty rad.
I'm obsessed with it. Like, if I don't wear it every day, it's going to be weird. That's it.
I know. I was already thinking, I was like, I wonder, like, I need to stock and see when they go on sale again, because we could get them in white in the summertime. We could get them in gray.
We have them in gray.
Oh yeah. Well, like a different, whatever, different gray. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, Sam. Alex, you spilled Energize all over it? Okay, that's okay, as long as it comes out. That's okay, it'll come out. I can't hear you, but I can imagine that you're saying something about it's going to come out in the wash. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were actually talking about this, about like the dryer will set in stains. So you wash it and then let it air dry. It's better if it can air dry in the sun.
That's huge.
Know about this from like Poopy One.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's like the getting the poop out of your kid's clothes trick, is letting it air dry in the sun.
It's gross.
Some information for you guys who aren't moms yet. Yeah. Okay, Sam.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So let me think. My 3 takeaways. I have them. So I think that one of the things is kind of along the lines of some of the stuff that you guys had already said, is just like that feeling of being there. And I like really want to hold on to it and like let it explode through my social media feed. Like I want to like figure out how to like create that, talking about the feeling that I had being there this weekend through that. Because I want other people to be able to feel it and then be there to really feel it with us next year. It's like hard to put into words because I was like tearing up on the way home because I was like, when am I gonna see them again? Like this was like seriously so much fun. And like I felt like I could completely be myself and all the like crazy stuff going on with me. And like you guys genuinely are like so accepting and like loving friends, and like I was like, I need more of that in my life. Like I just really like I knew I needed this weekend, and like because I was kind of feeling like a little bit in the funk, and like live events, they'll re-inspire you all the time, but this was completely different than just going to like a Super Saturday where it's fun and you hear inspiring stories, but like being with like the people that like totally get you, there's something super special about that. So I'm gonna stop crying now. We already all know I'm super sensitive. The other takeaways that I really had for it was investing in your business. So I really liked what Kelsey talked about how like, and this is something that I've heard before, but like if you want to start your own business, like you have to put time and you have to put you have to put stuff into it. Like you can't just, if you started a business outside of Beachbody, you would have to put money into it and things like that. So I think that relooking at, what I'm doing and how can I invest more into it, the time that I have, and making sure that I'm focusing my time on the right things that are going to move my business, because I think, like we've said, sometimes you want to do all the things, but like realistically, like I only have a certain amount of time that I can spend on this. And so is that time being put on the right things? Mm-hmm. And then I think the storytelling part was really, important too. And I think that that's just like I said, talking about those feelings that I had and trying to convey that to other people. I think that's going to be important moving forward.
Yeah.
But like in a concise way, like you gave that example, that Danielle Ream, example, because I think sometimes when you want to tell the story, it's like you want to get it all into like one post.
Yeah.
Like if the people are following you for like
right
more than a day, like they're going to eventually get all of the story. So they might be more likely to get it and read it if they read like a small.
Right. I know. I always like write a novel.
Like sometimes write a novel if you really want to, but like on a daily basis, like, or more often just giving like a snippet of the story.
Yeah.
That they can relate to.
Sam, yesterday when I was like trying to write my post, I realized like I couldn't do a short one like that. I was like, I really have to work on that. I totally agree. And that's like what breadcrumbing is. I've never done a breadcrumb in my life. I just do.
Well, a breadcrumb isn't a story.
Oh.
A breadcrumb is like, is actually kind of like the opposite. Like I'm so glad that I have coaching in my life. Grayson's sick and he won't be able to go to school tomorrow. So, thank God for coaching because Grayson's sick and I can't send him to school tomorrow. And so, I'm grateful that I have coaching so I can stay home and you know, so it's like, it's
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, it's meant to be just like a sprinkle, kind of like throwing it in there. Like, thank goodness I have my coaching biz so I can get my nails done this week. You know what I mean? Things like that, like a little kind of throw it in there, slide it in there a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Sam. And Erin.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I literally don't know what to do anymore. I'm sorry, there are two of me on this screen. I don't know what to do anymore in terms of fixing this computer because I don't know how to have calls with people if this is going on. Anyways, so my big takeaways are that, well, the silly things are that I like the game You Got a lot. And I also like the meme game because it showed up on my doorstep today because apparently I ordered it late night one night. So there's that. Yeah. Oh, what's this? Oh my God. Yeah, really, really proud. So my more serious takeaways are ask your questions. Like, if you don't know how to do something, just ask. Like, I wanted to do Triller for so long, and I was just kind of like, I don't know how to do it, and I just kept putting it off. And, like, this weekend, like, I used it for the first time today, and I was psyched. Like, it just added, like, more fun flair to my story. So just ask your questions. Obviously, live events light your fire. Like Sam said, like, I am truly myself around you guys. And, you know, like, I have great friends in my life, but, like, I honestly don't know if I'm more myself than when I'm with you. So thank you guys for that. I have also learned to be patient with myself, that it takes time to get there. Your journey isn't another coach's journey. And just be really patient with yourself. Like, you have a lot to learn, and your people are going to be different, and it's going to take time. So yeah. And also, like, loving on my people, getting to know why my clients want to work out a little bit more and dig a little deeper with them, just so that I can love on them easier. I feel like that's another thing, is that I let people fall through the cracks because I'm not loving on them hard enough. And, like, talking about, like, objections was really helpful with you guys. Just, like, because for, like, money objections, I'm always just like, oh, okay, you know, I'll talk about it. You know, so, like, talking about that with you guys really helps, with that, like, you know, it's okay to dig a little deeper when they're talking about money. Like, I know it's really hard to talk about money, but, you know, you don't know if they really can't afford it, or if they're just, like, not willing to give up their latte afford it, kind of thing.
Right. And if you are obsessed with the products and the programs, and you know that that's what's going to yield the best results, it's not you being pushy or salesy. It's you just genuinely wanting the best for them and knowing how to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Know what you mean.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay, and I'm last, and I want to make sure that, you know, I'm being respectful of your time, but I mean, I have all of the same exact takeaways from you guys. The superfood smoothie shake was awesome. I'm loving that. I need to practice it more so it becomes more like more whatever, rolls off the tongue more. Definitely loving on your people. Like, I knew that, but I think I get so caught up in doing all of the things, and day to day I have to do X amount of this and that I forget sometimes to, like, slow down and, like, remember how far, like, a little handwritten note would go, you know? And like Kelsey said, it doesn't have to be anything like crazy or expensive or anything. She even said, you told us, like, you were telling Danielle and I about face masks. You buy face masks at Target, right, Kelsey?
Yeah, Amazon. You can get them in bulk.
And putting one in a card doesn't increase the stamp necessary?
No, they're, like, flat. And they're, like, 75 cents.
Yeah. Very cool. like something little like that. It's just, the thought goes really far. So, and then obviously I just have that like kind of a little bit of a different perspective than you guys in terms of like, leading this whole shebang and putting it together. I told you guys this weekend, I was definitely nervous to do it. I had been thinking about it a lot leading up to Summit. And then it was at that Summit dinner when we had that first dinner that we all had together. And I looked at Casey and I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And that's when I said it. And that's kind of like I just committed then and there because I couldn't go back then. And I think that the nervousness stemmed from like, are people actually going to want to come? Are people going to come? You have to put the deposit down like right when you secure your spot. So it's like just, being anxious about all, and then like, if people do come, then it's like, holy shit, I have to like, do stuff and I have to like make sure people have stuff and make sure it's worth your while. But like, I can't even put into words like how much this weekend like totally surpassed like any expectation. I don't know what I actually expected, but it was like so much more awesome, I think, than anything I ever imagined. And it's because of you guys. It's because you guys came and flew and drove and took trains from all over and, took the times away from your family. And it meant so much. And I think we all have really grown closer, obviously together, but as individuals and as coaches as a result. So it will definitely be an annual thing. I think it's going to become some sort of like a qualification thing or something, because I can only imagine how many people we're going to want to have to go next year. And obviously we'll get a bigger house and have more people, but yeah, so that's it. And all the other things that you guys have said, like MailChimp, I'm definitely going to do that versus because I did it through the template on Canva and I sent it through Streak, but it only comes up as an attachment there. I like having it in the body of the text, even if it means I can't do it on Canva. That doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, I think that's it. I definitely need to be more efficient with my time. Because I'm always doing stuff, but I'm definitely not doing the income producing activities first, like 1000%. I'm not eating my frog at all. So I just I think I can be way more, I think I can still work the same amount of time I work and get a hell of a lot more done. I need to stop like doing stupid stuff. Maybe I need to write a post-it like Liz has. It says stop scrolling. Yeah, that's it though. Do you guys have any other questions, things to say? People who are listening to this call or the recording, if they were not at the retreat, I really encourage you guys to reach out to your coach or to the person who shared a specific takeaway that you want more information on. I know we all kind of talked from experience having been there, but people who are listening who weren't there may not know exactly what we're talking about. And like Erin said, like ask the questions if you want to know more. Like I have slides from my little slideshow. Kelsey has hers. We can definitely share, more in depth about what we kind of talked about and what we learned if you reach out to us. Oh, is that Jackie? The phone number, is that Jackie? Hi, Jackie. And how do I say it? Maciel? Is that right, Erin? Is that right? Maciel. Awesome. I just had to take a stab at it because after the Cara thing, it's just. I think we'll mess it up. Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, I will get the recording into the group. I appreciate you guys so much. And that's it. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Bye, guys.